All right, so today we're going to be talking about safe socializing during the pandemic and kind of what that means for student attitudes towards it, and how we feel our college experience has been shifted because of the pandemic. So to start off, introductions. My name is Preston. I'm a senior this year, which is scary. Journalism major. I'm also in Power Gamma. We're a student health org on campus.
Hey, I'm Sarah. I go by they, them, or he, him pronouns. I am a double major in College of Fine Arts and Media Arts and Studies in Script School. And I'm going on my fifth year, super senior.
Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle. I am a junior in Industrial and Systems Engineering, and I'm from Athens, Ohio. I'm also the interim vice president of Student Senate.
Hey, my name is Michaela Nash. I'm going to be a junior this year, and I'm double majoring in sport management and marketing. I was a peer mentor for the Office of Multicultural Student Access and Retention.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm starting my first year in grad school. I just graduated with my bachelor's in child and family studies from OU.
I think one of the common misconceptions that I see among college students, especially in this average age range that we have of 18 to 24-ish, is that that they're invincible from coronavirus, or that we couldn't hurt anyone else by doing things that are against the guidelines. And that isn't true. You never know if you're going to be one of the people who it does hurt, or if you're going to pass it off to someone.
I'm sure you guys have heard what happened with the 4th, when everyone came down on the 4th to visit, and then there was a huge spike, and there were more cases that week than there were from June to whenever the pandemic began in Athens. And that's kind of scary, because it kind of seemed like it'd be like a preview of the year if people are going to be going out. But they're businesses, so they're probably going to stay open, but it's up to the students to make good decisions. It's up to the students to socially distance and to really be smart. And I mean, it's mostly about caring about other people. It's not about if you're scared of coronavirus or not. If you're scared to get it, it's who would you give it to? What about your family? What about your friends? What about people in your residence hall? So it really just comes down to caring about other people more than yourself.
Realizing that everybody is going through something, but how can we come together to make it the best we can be? Because my hope is at the end of this, we come out better in every aspect of what we're going through.
Not having those orgs to kind of keep you centered and keep you focused on okay, I have this meeting, having something in your schedule keeps things organized during your weeks. So having that lack of connection with student orgs, I think, will be an interesting thing for new students to navigate, and even returning students to navigate, is just maybe not having your weekly meetings. Okay, what are you going to do instead? Are we going to go out because we have nothing else to do, because there's nothing else to do? That's another aspect of safety that is just on its own.
We, as student org leaders and other student org leaders across campus, will be really helpful in providing those positive spaces to connect online, at least, and I'm sure probably more after that. And we're trying to switch more towards virtual or socially distant programming so that students can still safely engage and have an outlet, and are still able to participate in these really cool opportunities that we have. So I think almost that positive peer pressure to, participate in things that are safe and good to do, and that we still can do, will be really important. And if students can influence their circles that they have that, then I think that'll make a big change for fall.
It does really rely on the students reaching out first. And I think that that's a very difficult thing to do if you don't know anyone and you don't know exactly what you're reaching out to, if that makes sense. I know for me that if something didn't immediately get my attention, I would be a lot more lazy to reach out towards it and be yeah, I'm going to make the effort to contact someone and then work all this out, when in the past you could just walk in the building and get all of that information right there.
I think that's really intimidating, and I think that's where my roommate would help me. Beginning of freshman and sophomore year, my organizations would help me. It sucks because we can't be socializing, but then it also sucks because we need to be social distancing. So it's where do we find that balance? Because I don't know. I don't know if anyone really knows right now, but it's a struggle.
Trusting everybody else to make good decisions regarding socializing. is probably the biggest issue too, because I mean, if one of your best friends isn't making great decisions like you are, then they would be exposing you to things that you would have been exposed to if you would have been making the same decisions as them.
I think that comes with just being like honest with yourself every day too. I think that's what students need to do. Like freshman and sophomore year when I lived in the dorm, I was sick all the time, but it's not being taken lightly anymore. Not like I have a sore throat. It's like, okay, well, don't see anyone. It's not just going to be a cold anymore. It could be something more. So you need to be honest with people and honest with yourself.
I feel like the majority of us Bobcats are going to be on top of this, and we're going to be following the guidelines, and we're going to be keeping up with like CDC updates and everything. But I feel like inevitably with so many people, there's going to be people who either don't understand or don't listen or choose not to use the guidelines. And I guess it's like there are a lot of people who are concerned about those individuals and like how that's going to be enforced, if at all.
I think Athens City is taking it more serious. You asked about enforcement. We watched a party get shut down right above Casa last night. Like 2 cop cars came out and there were like a group of people upstairs and like everyone was, they were like having their own little party. But the cops came and they shut everything down. So that's off campus. I don't know how they're going to do it on campus.
I know there's Twitter accounts ran by students. I don't know if you guys have seen them, and they call them like the OU COVID cops. And they've been like posting pictures of parties and stuff to like kind of shame people like out from like away from partying, which is an interesting tactic, but I mean, it's for safety. So
sitting down with my roommates and talking about like our boundaries as kind of a little bubble and a little unit for like how we wanted to all agree to keep each other safe. And that is like kind of a hard conversation to have, I think, because you never know what other people are going to feel. And, someone you're living with, it's pretty hard to not just get their germs by living with them. So sitting down and having that conversation was super helpful and made me feel a lot better after, but was a stressful conversation to have, I think. So how have you guys found good ways to like safely socialize and continue to engage?
We go to Stroud's Run a lot, and sometimes we'll go kayaking like in our own kayaks, and we'll like social distance like on the lake or like the bike path. We like to skate there, or like there's places we could go. Like we're lucky to at least live in Athens or go to school in Athens where it's a beautiful place to be. So I mean, you can still hang out with your friends outside if it's like less than 5 people and you're like socially distancing.
I feel like a lot of people in Athens socialize and make a lot of friends going out to parties or to bars and restaurants. And I'm just curious what you guys think about how that's going to change.
We've done a lot of like Zoom calls. I've learned there's a lot of online games you can play with your friends online. There's so many. So we've played like Cards Against Humanity. I've had virtual happy hours with people where everyone like brings a friend and they like invite them to the Zoom call. And drinking's optional, of course, but just a way to like keep some sort of connection. I agree. It's not always the personalized experience. You don't get those weird stories. You don't kind of have those shared moments. But kind of like having friends bring people that they know, or even like roommates that you wouldn't get a chance to meet unless you went over there. Having more people in the call than just maybe like your smallest circle, because it's a Zoom call, so you can have as many people as you want.
I've noticed in Athens, a lot people have been like picnicking a lot. Like I've seen a lot of people out on College Green, like eating their Chipotle or whatever. And also I've noticed that a lot of the patios at restaurants have been, people have said they've seemed pretty safe in that it's pretty distanced. And I think that would be another safe way if somebody was willing or felt good about going to a restaurant.
I just think that we all have been through it in so many different ways. And I think that the best thing we can do is just make the most of the situation. I've been really trying to complain less and try to be more positive. I feel like complaining is just like a common thing that's been happening. So good talks like this and like positive conversations are what we need right now. But we'll get through it.